We talk about the history. The best person to really dive in for us is historian Jack Neely. You've written about the fair. You attended. What are we? You worked there. What was your job?
I was in crowd control, and I was right where we are. This was the Saudi Arabian pavilion, and that was one of the lines I had to put in order. But the toughest line of all was the China pavilion, and every day, this was the first time the People's Republic of China had ever been in a World's Fair, and every day, I mean, China was the mysterious, forbidden nation for Americans. We knew nothing about them. They weren't involved in the West at all. So every day, every morning, about a couple thousand people would run to the China pavilion over on the other side of Cumberland Avenue and line up, and lines were 4 hours long sometimes.
My goodness.
Yeah,
so it was definitely one of the most popular pavilions.
Was, yeah, and it was, in retrospect, the most significant of all the pavilions, because it was their first time, and it's kind of the beginning of China kind of coming into the Western economy in many ways. So,
now, what were some other surprises from the World's Fair?
Oh, there were billions of them. Japan had the painting robot and all that. What else? The very first time the European Economic Community was in a World's Fair was here, and later on they were known as the European Union. Then they were trying to explain in 1982 what they were going to be doing in the future with a single currency for the whole continent, which is what happened, even though it's had some defections lately. But that was the first time the European Union had ever had a pavilion at a World's Fair, so that was a big deal.
Yeah.
What was your favorite exhibit, if you had to pick one that you remember?
Oh, goodness, that's really hard to say. I really enjoyed the Australian pavilion because they had the Down Under pub, and they had underneath. I went there.
We've heard a lot about that
every evening. Yeah, but they had the big Kansas Foster's lager down there, and it was kind of laid back, and as we'd expect from Australians, and you hang out with all the blokes and drink Foster's lager and listen to bluegrass music usually.
So even though you worked here during the day, you would spend your downtime here at the fair as well.
Yeah, that's right, except when REM was playing at Cumberland Avenue. I went over there.
Can't miss REM.
Yeah, that's right. But it was fun to hang out here. I lived just a block away from here, so it was easy to come back and forth and so forth. So it was a really fun, interesting. It's like a strange dream to be here for 6 months to be here and have the whole world here and have the crazy fireworks and laser shows every night, which I could never figure out how that worked. Those laser things, but it was fascinating. It really was. But not as a historian, I've learned a lot of things that I missed about it, like the touchscreen computers. The first time anybody ever saw touchscreen computers was at the U.S. Pavilion, which was right over there. But nobody paid attention to them. It was not that big a deal. I think Rex Reed, writing for GQ, mentioned them.
Wow.
But almost nobody else did. And it was the first time, and we didn't know that they were important until we got these things about 20 years later.
Absolutely.
And now we use them all the time. That was the
we
first time,
do.
Jack. Amazing memories. Thank you for taking us back to 1982. We appreciate it.
You know, we sported some memorabilia thanks to photojournalist David Wayburn. We had a visor and we had a pennant, but we want to talk